proceed with free version for non-commercial.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Disclosure TV. Sorry about that. I'm still fiddling with stuff here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Disclosure TV. Sorry about that. I'm still fiddling with stuff. I was going to do an update. I'm working on some good info for another video, a couple more live videos, and I've been working hard on trying to get that out to you all. But I had actually come across a few things and wanted to go live to report it. If you looked at my thumbnail, yes, you are reading that correctly. It's being reported that Obama, Bush, and George Soros have all been captured and are sitting in Gitmo right now. Either they've already been handed down a sentence from the military tribunals, which have just started apparently, or they are awaiting said sentences for the tribunals. I'm not sure on what's going on about this. Last week it was reported by David Wilcock that the tribunals were underway, and another report came out that George Soros his home in Switzerland was raided, and by an elite team. We have no information on that, and as you know, military tribunals are for the most part secret. They are not made public until they're over. If anybody wants to know what military tribunals are, a military tribunal is real. They are real. It's mostly used for military purposes, court-martials, crimes committed within the military, crimes committed by soldiers, crimes committed by, I don't know if crimes they can use crimes committed on or committed by contractors, federal contractors or not. I'd say they may be able to. They do have tribunals all the time. You just don't hear about them. They're handled by top-ranking military officials, generals, majors. Those are the judges. They do sit on a panel. They are panel judges. That's why they call it a tribunal. So, I was going to show you a couple videos of what's going on. David Wilcock, he actually started this video. It says deep state tribunals underway, tree fall synchronicity. We'll get past that. But
of the public potentially getting new data dumps.
He's talking about people about the public getting data dumps from like Edward Snowden did. This guy right here, who David Wilcock is showing you, is the one who said the tribunals have started. This is the same guy that put out the information about Snowden, and he was right. So, Margaret Brantley, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. And if you don't know who Edward Snowden is, he is the guy he was the whistleblower who told everything that he could find out about what was happening on in the government, secret cases that were going on, classified information, top secret information. He leaked out everything he could leak out. So, what does this all have to do with the tribunals? Well, this is the guy that leaked it all out, not David Wilcock, but this guy right here.
Bigger than October 2016.
And he's the one who leaked it out. Leaked out that the tribunal was starting.
The same insider who knew what was going on before it happened in WikiLeaks. He is saying that we are about to get stuff that will dwarf what we got in October 2016. The whole trend of our society is already...
If any of you don't know who David Wilcock is, he is he's a great journalist. He was mostly on the History Channel. If you don't know him, Ancient Aliens mostly. So that's who he was. That's who he does. That's what he does now. And let's listen to him a minute.
Very good intel on this from multiple insider sources that they have arrested right now key people in the deep state. They already have tribunals going on in several locations in the United States and apparently Guantanamo. There are prison barges taking people to Guantanamo, and what they've done is they've started with the mid-level people who were directly involved in child trafficking. The sealed indictments that we've been hearing so much about are being unsealed. People are being put on trial in secret tribunals. These are military trials. They happen quickly. Some people are getting the death penalty. This is very
As you can see, this was put out on February the 3rd, 2019.
Now, the people who are doing this think that they can make it stay secret for a year or two. They're hoping it could take that long. Because remember, the original mass arrest scenario I've been telling you guys about since 2009 was going to be everybody getting arrested at once. But it turns out when the rubber meets the road, the Alliance does not have the staff to do that. They're going to need to do it a little at a time. So it's going to take them a year or two to get everybody. Now, there are some factions. There's one faction, the Alliance, and this is a group opposing the deep state that represents the military, the intelligence community, and many other governments around the world.
So, now, going back to others who have stated the same thing, we're going to go back to David Zublick. David Zublick, this was yesterday, he announced that he had received information that he received information that these three people were arrested. Now, I don't know if any of this is true or not. Like I said, this is just an update on what's going on with that. As you know, for the last year and a half or so, everybody's talked about this military tribunal that's going to come up, and people are going to go down for it, and who's going to be involved.
To the channel.
So here we go.
If you like the content of the story, if you enjoy this programming, please donate so
the United States.
Let me fast forward a little.
To Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to billionaire financier George Soros has been arrested and is currently being detained and interrogated at a bunker in Gastonal, Switzerland, before being extradited to the United States, where he will eventually be transported to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to face military tribunal as an enemy combatant against the United States. We are also learning that former President George W. Bush has pled guilty to many charges, including the planning and cover-up of 9/11, the cover-up of his father's activities, including violations of the RICO Act, treason, money laundering, pedophilia and child sex trafficking, as well as the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy and the attempted assassination of former President Ronald Reagan back in 1981. Bush has pled guilty to these crimes and will be executed, but not before his complete testimony is given, including cross-examinations and several trips back to the stand to testify. So because the military tribunals are expected to last up to 2 years, the execution of former President George W. Bush will be delayed until the conclusion of these tribunals. We have also learned that former President Barack Obama is currently also at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where he has turned over several bits of information in an attempt, from what I am told, a vain attempt to be spared execution on charges of high treason. Apparently, he has turned over valuable information regarding Benghazi, the 9/11 cover-up that he was also well aware of, and several other crimes, including the Fast and Furious gun-running crimes and Hillary Clinton's crimes with the email scandal and much, much more. We are understanding that Barack Obama at this point is pretty much begging for his life, begging to be spared execution. We'll tell you about that in just a few moments. All of this news is coming at a very fast pace, and we wanted to get it out to you as quickly.
Okay, so that was, like, as I said, that was David Zublik. He is stating that all this is going on right now, and as I said before, just like I said in the other video, the same guy that David Wilcock was talking about just a second ago he's the one who's putting this information out. And if I can find out his name, I will. And yes, you heard correctly. Margaret, you are correct. All these people have been off the radar. They've been off the radar for a while since the funeral. If you all don't remember, if you all don't remember seeing Jeb Bush's face during the funeral after he was shown documents of whatever it was that they received, all I can tell you is he was scared to death. So here, I'll find that and show you that. And you can see his face once he was handed the information that he was handed, and his face, right? If you notice right here, many believe that this is the start of the military tribunal. The paperwork they received was these papers as maybe a warning, or it was George H.W. trying to say, hey, this is what's going down, and this is the funeral for George Bush. And as you can see, George W.'s wife shows Jeb some paperwork they received from this gentleman right here, this bald-headed guy right in the middle of these two honor guards right here. He received a piece of paper from them, but they also, all of the presidents except for Trump, received documents. And they're not sure what was in the documents. Nobody knows, but all we know is that Jeb Bush got scared to death when he saw what he saw in those documents, and I'll show it to you right now. And as you just saw, you you saw her hand the you saw her show you saw George Bush's wife showed Jeb those documents, and as soon as he saw them, he got scared to death. He, and everybody wants to know what was in those envelopes. What made Jeb Bush get so scared? Well, what made him get so scared? Was people think that was George H.'s tell-all, George Bush's dad's Bush 1, his tell-all, and they was thinking that that's what that was, is that people are getting ready to go down for the crimes they committed by pretty much abusing the power of the United States, which is the greatest power there is on this planet. And they believe that that's what's going on. Margaret, I believe that guy may have something to do with the government himself. I think he may be somewhere in the same situation that Edward Snowden was in. Maybe. I don't think he's. I don't know if he's a journalist or not. I don't think he is. But as you can see, one day ago, Obama begs for his life. Soros arrested. Bush arrested. All these channels come out on the same day saying that these people have been arrested. They are at Guantanamo Bay. They are being tried by military tribunals. Like I said, if anybody wants to know, yes, military tribunals are real. They are used every day. They are used in secret. That's because the military goes by a different set of judiciary rules than it does for civilians. So they go by different. They have judges, but the judges are majors. They're generals. They're high-ranking military officials. So all these people, if it's come out that just take for instance George Soros, it said that his home was raided in Switzerland. And as you read right here, at George Soros' home in New York suburb, explosive device found. So George Soros, if nobody knows who George Soros is a bad man. And he will straight up tell you he's a bad man. And there was an interview with George Soros. I think you can find it on YouTube. I think it was by ABC or NBC or CBS, one of those two, Dateline maybe, done an interview with George Soros. He publicly came out and told people that where he's a billionaire and he controls so much money, and he will actually go into a country, get into their stock market, and basically buy everything he can, and then sell it for so cheap, so little of a price that their whole economy collapses. Yes, and he will tell you that. He has collapsed economies in third world countries. He's collapsed economies in second world countries. He will tell you this. He is not a good man. George Soros is not a good man. He does not have a bit of heart in him. Now, a lot of other yes, he does tell the truth on that. A lot of other people do the same exact thing he does. They do the exact same thing he does, except they're quiet about it. If you have, say you have $100 billion, and you go into a third world country or a second world country where their gross GDP is less than what you have in the bank, and you go in there and you buy their currency up and you make it drop down so low that it's basically worthless, that's a lot of power to have. And he does that, and he will tell you he does that. So a lot of people know that there's been a huge attack on alternative media the last 2-3 weeks, a month and a half. There's been a huge attack on people trying to tell the truth, and they will actually come out and tell you, YouTube, especially YouTube, change their algorithm in order not to recommend videos that are based on conspiracy, or videos that are based on an alternative truth, or videos based on what people see as common sense. Because they don't want you, and their main reason for this is that they don't, 9/11 has taken a big hit on people believing that 9/11 was set up. And I'm going to say it in this video, but more than likely what I'm talking about is probably going to get put on the back burner, and it's not ever going to hardly be seen. And that's YouTube has put a stop to that, changing their algorithm. So if you believe that 9/11 was set up, and you're one of those people who believe that, YouTube changed their algorithm to do that. So there's been a huge, the government has they've just taken a huge hit to all of media, really. But and it's because that they don't want things like George Soros to get out. They don't want things like Edward. Do you think that the government wanted everybody to know about Edward Snowden? No, they didn't. They want to keep stuff like that under wraps because it makes them look weak. It makes the United States look weak. They don't know. They don't want everybody to know. Just like they were talking about pedophilia in that video, David Wilcock was. Not too long ago, a couple videos and a recording of a video came out that showed the elites go to an island in the Caribbean, and they take women down there and they do bad things to women. They do bad things to children. They do bad things to all those people, and that's why that guy said they were being all Obama, Bush, and really Clinton was in on that too, about pedophilia. The elites are just a bunch of people that you just don't want to cross. You don't really want to know them. Not too long ago, 7 people, I think it was 7 people in a limo died for absolutely no reason. And if you looked at the crime scene, and if you knew anything about it, you knew something wasn't right about it. And that's the kind of common sense that the alternative media, or somebody like me, or somebody like Marfugel, or John X. Army, or Lisa Haven, that's the kind of stuff we focus on, is the common sense stuff. Because what the media tells you is all comes from one place, and it's called a newswire service. All media headlines are embargoed, and then they're released whenever the government says to release them, and you all can look that up. It's called a news embargo. Just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, if they didn't want that, if she was really dead, and they didn't want that to get out, all they would have to do is send an embargo, put an embargo on that news, and nobody would ever know. And it's that simple. For the fact that not too long ago, the news come out and said, we can't stop people from knowing stuff. It's impossible for us not to, for the media, for people to hide stuff. It is possible, and in a video, in the Ruth Bader Ginsburg video, I prove it, and in another video, I prove it. You can hide anything you want in the media by a news embargo. Those laws are controlled by the government. The news embargo laws, the newswire services, they have to go by laws that are implemented by the government. And the whole fact about the news, about the president being the president knowing the news before anybody else, that's true. I'm sure he does, because newswire services gathers all the news up, and it says release it at this date, release it at this time, release it at this time. So, is it possible to control all what George Soros does? Is it possible to control what the bad things Obama's done? Is it possible to control what Clinton's done, Hillary's done? Is it possible to control to stop anything from coming out into the light, that the government's done that's awful and bad to people and bad to citizens? Yes, it is possible. It's very possible. And like I said in a video, I proved that. And when you come to this channel, I'd like to have more proof than just other media sources. But like on this video, I can't right now because it's just an update. But if I do my research, and like I usually do, my research doesn't usually come from articles. It usually comes from facts. Don't like using articles that much. I will, just to prove a point. But other than that, I like using sources. And that's actually one of my videos that I'm actually working on is it's about the fact checker websites, and how like factchecker.org and Snopes and all the fact checker websites, it's about how they fact check everything. Well, after I started looking into how they fact check everything, you're never going to believe what I found. And it's so stupid that people would go by the sources they have. And I'll let you know in that video. But anyway, like I was saying, this is just an update on all what's going on. If you want to look more into what Obama's done, what Bill's done, what Hillary's done, there's supposed to be and I've actually seen part of the video on the dark web about Hillary Clinton actually and her aide actually mutilating a small child. I've seen part of the video, and I tried to watch it and I couldn't. I had to stop. And yes, there is a video on the dark web about that. You can look it up. you would need, I would suggest you to use a Tor blocker, a Tor browser, and a VPN. That way you can't be tracked on the dark web, or nobody knows you're doing anything on the dark web. I just go on there to see if I could find sources for information or anything like that. That's the only reason I use it. And, you know, if a lot of people believe 100% in their government. A lot of people believe 100% in the people who lead their government, people who lead their, you know, governors, their president, their vice president. And I'm going to just tell you this. It's easier to believe. I would rather people, if people are going to believe in their government, believe in the government that was written. And what I mean by that is believe in your Constitution. Believe in the Declaration of Independence. Believe in that. Don't put your faith in the people who run the government. Don't put your faith in the people who run your town. Back in the day, you know, when I was growing up, yes, you could have done that. But now you just can't do it. So if you're going to be proud of your government and you're going to be proud, you know, you support your government, by all means, support your government. Your government is a piece of paper, is a document that was founded 200 and something years ago to make this country. Believe in that document. Don't believe in the people nowadays who interpret it for you. You know, Margaret, that's a possibility. You know, I'm not a firm believer yet in chemtrails and contrails. The other day, I took a picture. I snapped a picture and I stuck it on Facebook because I snapped a picture of 4 planes in the same frame, and there was 2 planes that were just pouring out. There were just 2 planes that were pouring out trails behind it. You know, it had been going for a long time, and then there was 2 other planes in the same picture, no trails at all, none. And do I still believe in contrails and all that? I haven't done any research into it, but I'm going to because I was given information on that, how aluminum that NASA has actually come out and said that they are spreading lithium into our ionosphere. And that the government is spreading aluminum into our atmosphere. And my father, he used to work for, my father worked for the government, and he worked for a water treatment facility. And I used to go down there myself, and I've been down there a million times. And, you know, fluoride, a lot of people, they put fluoride in your water, and they put fluoride in there because they said it helps your teeth. Now, why they would put fluoride in there to help your teeth, I have no idea. I didn't know the government cared that much. I had no clue they cared enough to put an extra additive in your water to protect your teeth. Had no idea they cared that much. I didn't even know they would spend the money to do that sort of thing. But then I went into the fluoride room where the chemicals are kept, where the bulk chemicals are kept, which is lime. They do put lime in your water. And the fluoride, like I was saying, the fluoride, I went into the room for the fluoride. Well, before I went into the room, you had to put on a level 1 chemical suit, which is a full suit from head to toe with boots and a respirator and everything. That's a level 1 chemical suit. It's one piece. It's all one piece. And you have to go in that room and wear that suit to get the chemicals out. But if you go in that room, to the fluoride room, there's a sign, fluoride will eat your face off. And it says it right there that contact, it will destroy your skin on contact. And it's a powder. And I never saw anything like that before in my life. Why would they put, and they say in small amounts it's good for your teeth. Well, what's it matter? It's just water. It's just water through the tap. Who cares if they have fluoride in it? And ever since then, I've been freaked out over the water. Yeah, and also, they double the amount of chemicals they put in your water every year because where the ocean's getting dirtier and dirtier and more polluted, and the river water is getting more polluted and more polluted. They double the amount of chemicals they put in every year, and that's a fact. Actually, my dad he's gone now, but I actually have family that still works in that division, and I'll go down there and make a video of the fluoride room. I'll go down there and they just why do they put that stuff in our water? I'll never know. And like I said, I'm going to do a video on contrails when I get more evidence. But like I said, these tribunals, they said they've been coming for 2 years. And they evidently they've started them. I mean, I'm not sure on how much of that is true at all, but I don't know how much evidence we could get out of that it is true. I don't know how we could obtain any more of that information except from that one guy. And as I said, I think that guy may work for the government. And, you know, a lot of the people have sorry, my phone's going dead. A lot of the people a lot of the people that come out and say, hey, we need whistleblower protection for this, that, and other. I've actually sat and watched C-SPAN meetings, and I've watched senators say that. I just don't think that that's going to be a thing. I just don't think it's going to be a thing. So, and there's one way. Like I said, I like to use sources. So there's one way you could tell if these tribunals are for real. And in March, Obama is supposed to have some sort of rally, maybe. Obama's supposed to have one. If it gets canceled, then I don't know where the march is at, or not the march, but the rally. I don't know where it's at or what it's about, but he's supposed to have one in March. So if he cancels that, or if something happens to where he can't go, then I would start actually thinking that maybe something that could be true. But like I said, this is just an update, everybody. I didn't mean to last this long, but Margaret, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good night. I hope everybody has a good night. And like I said, Just watch out for, just believe in your government, believe in the Constitution, but don't believe in the people who run it. It's not 1950 and 1960 anymore. It's not that time anymore. So, all right, everybody, hit the thumbs up button if you liked watching my stream tonight. If you have any news or info, you can hit me up at disclosurechannel@gmail.com. Twitter, disclosure TV _ at twitter.com. Subscribe to me. Get your friends to subscribe. I need some more subscribers. All right, everybody. This is Disclosure TV. We are out of here.